Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Richelieu number 2215 ANV. This is a hinge-mounted doorstop. This is a typical residential sort of piece of hardware that is used to simply stop a door, or at least to attempt to stop a door, meaning that it is a piece of hardware that's used when there are no other easier options more conducive to performing the job of stopping the door. This is a hinge pin mounted doorstop because the pin of the hinge goes right down through the hinge. The 2215 is representative of this item and what it does. It's representative of the fact that it has a threaded post here with a rubber insert. It's got a plastic pad that will pivot based on the degree of opening, okay, making contact with the face of the door. This is going to include a nylon bushing that I'm going to insert now, and then we'll go over later what that's used for. This is going to be available in antique brass, black, polished brass, brushed antique copper, brushed chrome, brushed nickel, chrome, oil rub bronze, and white. Now, let's go over the dimensional properties of this and we'll talk about it in a moment. From the center of the hinge pin to the end of the pad for the door, about 2 5/16. Same dimension out this way. To the well, the overall is going to be about 1.5 inches. Center to the pad is about 1 1/4 inches. Thickness of that knuckle with the insert installed about 5/16. Finishing up the dimensional properties, you're going to have an ID of the plastic insert or the bushing at 0.240. Then on the other side, if you were to remove it, you would have an insert, inner diameter of 0.311. 0.311. Now, where is this used? Again, to stop a door. There'll be instances when a floor-mounted doorstop, a baseboard-mounted doorstop, or the best option of all, an overhead stop that is either surface-mounted, a slide track design that's either surface-mounted or concealed in the door. None of those are possible options. A scenario where you'll see a hinge pin-mounted doorstop will be, imagine a residential application, and the kitchen door from the driveway opens in. 90 degrees is good. You get to 95 degrees and it's going to hit an island counter behind it. That's an instance where you can't really put a floor stop because it'll be in the way. An overhead stop is not an option because of either the cost, conflict with other hardware, or the degree, the level of difficulty in terms of installation. Obviously, a baseboard mount is not an option because there's a counter island that's there. So a hinge pin doorstop becomes the least common denominator, or the least worst of all of the possibilities. Now this will mount through the hinge pin. You'll tap the hinge pin out, you'll insert it down through the hole. I gave you the dimensions of those IDs, so whichever way that works best for your hinge pin is great. Either use the insert or don't. I have had people, just letting you know, that have slightly drilled that out to accommodate a much thicker hinge pin. I have no experience and I don't know all the facts, but I know that it has been done to achieve that. With this threaded post drawn all the way in, you're going to be able to achieve a much greater degree of opening before it will make that stop. So this portion is going to touch the door frame, so it'll be all the way out here before it makes contact. So if this is 90 degree, you're going to get out to 120 degree for sure of opening. And then of course if you thread that all the way out, you'll see how that will change the degree of opening. And we're just being approximate. I don't know exactly those degree of openings. I don't have it installed on a door. You could probably cheat that out to, 75 degree if you wanted to, 70 degree, something in that range. And again, they're used when there are no other possibilities. They're not ideal because you can easily overextend the door, damaging the hardware, which is probably the least of your concern. This tip will over time certainly make an indent onto the casing, can work to make the casing come loose in that area. This I've seen rupture the face of a door when it's been grossly pushed too far. All of these are instances of worst case scenarios, but they have happened. But the bottom line is, in an adult, controlled sort of environment, it's fine. A hollow core door is going to open. You just want to make sure it doesn't hit something behind there, and there's going to be no undue force. Hinge pin door stops are very common in that sort of scenario. Okay. Now the name Richelieu is synonymous with a overwhelming quantity of residential and commercial hardware. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Richelieu items that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the product catalog. But that link to the product catalog is really just a link to the page within the Richelieu website that will show you all of the different catalog possibilities. The reason that's the case is there is no consolidated Richelieu catalog because their offering would be several phone books thick by the time it was all done. You're going to see cabinet hardware. You're going to see sliding door hardware. You're going to see lighting. You're going to see kitchen and closet storage components. You're going to see plumbing items. You're going to see hardware that will allow you to slide a ladder in a library. If you are in the market for residential hardware, take a look at Richelieu. The summary of what they have is this. Their company summary, very broad offering of products, very good customer service, prompt, reliable shipping lead times. They do have an order minimum that sometimes will slow the shipping of material out, but reach out to us prior to placing an order and we can be very clear as to what the expected lead time would be on the material. They're knowledgeable, they make a good quality product, and have no reason to, there is no reason to suggest that you consider other alternates. If you have any questions on the Richelieu number 2215 ANV, and that ANV is the antique nickel, or any other Richelieu product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.